But you're the guys that you have to cover. These psychos, you corner them and they still make up stories. How do you feel about that? Is that, I guess that is like a never ending source, but it's like focus on one, get the full story instead of going into like 20 different stories that.
Yeah. I don't mind. Like, I enjoy the investigations. I'm going to try to do like deeper, more like thorough investigations instead of so many small ones. But yeah, even that though, as long as I'm focused on a single area, right? What I don't like is monitoring the entire world. You know, that's new. Like, even ever since like the telephone and telegram, world news was invented. World news never existed. You never had news outside of like the people. The travel distance of one day was the extent of your news, because you could only ever get daily news from like whoever could run home fast enough to tell everybody about it. The telegram changed all of that when all of a sudden we could have instant communication of like, oh, by the way, in like West Virginia, there was a school shooting. And then all of a sudden everyone in Texas cares about it, quote, quote. And then world news even changed again when you have satellites now. Yeah. So it's like, these are inventions, but we never have to use to deal with them. And it's like, what? I mean, it's important. Like, to some extent, I get it. There's like this whole, like, I guess, value to being informed. But I mean, like, to what extent? I mean, how much does the world politics in like, I don't know. Yeah, Timbuktu affect or benefit me to know about if I'm not going to be able to change it?
I mean, I just hate like when you watch the evening news and they're like, there was a car crash on this street. It's like, I don't need it. Even down the street, I don't need it. I don't need to know that a family died. I don't know them. What are you showing me with this? Like, it is just fear. So I think fear mongering news is really bad. But it is like I guess one of those balance things where it's like, well, you can't get away. It is like those deer. Like, you gotta come eat at the trough, unless you're just gonna leave society and be enlightened. But then you do have to figure out like, okay, now I'm losing money on this. It's such a fine line between a creator and a producer, I guess, online too. Because there's even a lot of creators who think they're producers, but it's like they're not. You know what I mean? It's like getting there becomes a thing too. But it's interesting, and they just make so much money off of us too. That is annoying too. That we're just making all their content for them.
For who?
Collectively.
For who?
For like these big tech companies, they're just like, getting rich.
Little Facebook employees, YouTube employees, Twitter employees. I know.
Yeah,
it was such a genius business model. It's like, hey, how about instead of paying people to create our content, we give them a like? What's a like? How much is a like worth, sir? Well, nothing. It's not worth anything. In fact, we advertise on it and we get all the money. It's like, what a genius. If you actually think about the business model, it's like genius.
It's incredible, dude. And they took the game with it. Like, they're bigger than the networks now.
No.
So they're going to control us.
Yeah. They got us. You're the employee. You don't know it. What are people saying? At least YouTube pays their creators. I mean, they're the only
YouTube is probably the best of all for paying.
Yeah, they at least pay their creators like 50%.
We get 70% of our super chats. They take 30% of the super chats here. But yeah, they are like, I think they're the nicest. They seem to be providing the closest thing to a service. Therefore the channel itself is tight more. Whereas this platform itself is tight. Whereas I've heard Facebook, and I remember Sam Ovens has a great talk about this where he says, look at opening conditions of a project and you'll see what kind of project it is. Facebook, from day one, the guy's been skeezy. He basically made that thing because he's pissed about his girlfriend like not being in love with him, whatever it is. So so first he did Hot or Not, and then he built that into Facebook. So it's like Facebook's just been always evil and hasn't converted into something meaningful, I feel like. Whereas YouTube does seem kind of meaningful, actually. It's like real TV.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Somebody says Reddit is the place for intellectuals. That's a good one. Reddit is a good place for people who think they're intellectual.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I love Reddit too, but you know it's true. Dude, Reddit is the biggest waste of time. Facebook Purges. Reddit does better than anyone else is they have the hottest comments, dude. You go to a good Reddit post, dude, the comments, those guys are genius. Like some of them.
It's as far as you need to go. Hilarious. 4chan was the overstep. It's like, why do you need to go further than Reddit? Just stay on Reddit. Do you ever see like a new platform open up and you're like, guys, just keep it on one?
Wasn't 4chan first?
Before Reddit?
I think so. I don't
Oh, really? Know. That's interesting. But
Facebook purges their own pages. I heard on a podcast that Facebook purges something like 3 billion Facebook accounts a quarter.
Yeah, they have to.
Of bot accounts.
Yeah. Have you seen the Veritasium video on it?
No.
So Veritasium has this great video where he's basically saying like YouTube and like bot farms are in this weird business partnership where if you pay for likes on your page, you'll get likes, but half of them are going to be a bot farm like. So it's going to be like, and he looked into it and it was like, okay, so this page was made in Pakistan. They've liked 10,000 things. Like they like everything. And then they liked you. So you can't blame Facebook because Facebook is like, we didn't do it. It's basically the bot farms are getting paid by someone to generate likes for them. And then when you pay for your genuine likes, you just automatically get a couple because Facebook basically just sees it as like, oh, well, you got that like, counts as a like. You know what I mean? Like you pay Facebook for like, I want 10,000 likes or whatever. They count those as likes. And then later they have to go back and delete the channels. It's such a scam. And the thing is, they know that they're doing it too. They're so evil. Even with the fighting algorithms.
Yeah, they're just incentivizing us all to fight with each other.
I'm a scammer. Gonna rip you off, take you down.